is Shannon and this is my channel, The Sewing Warehouse, where I talk to you about my dressmaking journey. Today I have another FridaySews vlog for you, which is just a little bit of a chatty vlog where I talk to you about the sewing related things that have been going on in the last week. First of all, I want to tell you I'm wearing my Billy sweater from Tilly and the Buttons in French terry from Higgs & Higgs. You've probably seen this quite a lot over these past few weeks because I just made it and I actually love wearing it, and especially in this cold weather, it's just been a bliss wearing something so cozy but, you know, still stylish. So what have I done this week sewing related? Not much, to be honest. I usually sew in the weekends. But last weekend I was just a little bit tired, you know, things have been a little bit busy at work, and I just needed a little bit of rest. So I chose to do some relaxing things instead, like going outside, cycling for a little bit, going out with my partner, things like that. I did do a few bits and bobs, like I cut out my hinterland dress that came in my Little Miss So-and-so box. So that is all ready to start. I just think I have to cut out the interfacing bits, but that's just an easy thing. And then I can get started on that. I also cut out my Sew Yellow for Endo project. If you've seen my makes and plans video from last weekend, you will know that I am making a dungaree dress in yellow corduroy. And I need to finish it this weekend, otherwise it will not be finished in time for the release date of 25th of March. So that is high on my priority list right now, and I've actually started sewing it up this week. And I think I'm on schedule because I have finished the skirt and I just finished the bib piece. So as you can see, I'm quite happy with this pocket placement and the little label. So I'm quite happy with the progress that I'm making. I just have to attach the waistband to the bib and then gather the skirt, attach it to the waistband, and then the straps and with the buttons. So I think the hardest part is done because it had a lapped zip, which it hasn't gone completely perfect, but I'm quite happy for my first try of having a lapped zip, how it has turned out. And I've also sewn in the pockets, so I think I'm quite well on the way to have that finished by the end of this weekend. I should do, because I don't have any plans for this weekend, so it's probably just going to be sewing. So yeah, that's good. Another thing I did was organize my remnant stash. I picked out a few bits and bobs that I would like to destash, and then I'm sending over to Yvette from Stash Hub. She's collecting all bits and pieces of like fabrics and haberdashery and things like that, to send to a refugee center where their Ukrainian refugees are sewing clothes for all the clothes that, you know, people have lost in the war. And just, you know, to keep busy, I guess. Yeah, getting just distracted from the horrible things that are happening over there. So I just had a look through my stash of fabrics, my stash of remnants. I can have quite some bits and pieces of remnants that are, you know, big enough to make clothes in, and my patterns as well. And I've decided to donate those. I just need to find a bag to send them in, and then they will be on their way. So I did that, and I also then bought, because last week I said I have been batch tracing, and I know I have heard some people about batch cutting. Sorry, that's the word there. But I only have like one small project box, and I just obviously want to keep my projects separated. So I went to W.H. Smith and bought this Ziploc bag that I thought I could put my projects in. So if I batch cut it, I can have different Ziploc bags with my projects ready to go. However, I have found that I only bought one. Luckily, I was like, okay, let's try it with one, see how it is. But I have found that the zip on this is not good quality at all. Like it just, yeah, no. So I like the idea. I used it. I've got two projects cut out right now, which is the first for me. So I have used it, but I've noticed that the zip is just not good enough. So I'm gonna find something else. So if you have recommendations when it comes to Ziploc bags or other things that you use to keep your projects in, please let me know below, because I am looking for recommendations. So yeah, those are the bits that I have been working on. Now onto the things that I have been buying. I bought new fabric, or I should say my partner bought new fabric, but there's a little bit of a story behind it. So I've been telling my partner like, oh, I can sew something really nice for you, and he was like, oh yeah, I want sweatpants. I'm not making you sweatpants. Like, there's no joy in that for me, so you can go and buy sweatpants if that's what you want. And then last year we went to Fabrics Galore together, where he, well, had to, that's a whole different story, but he bought me some new fabric from there, and I think being in the fabric store just kind of like ignited his creativity a little bit. So he was looking at all the fabrics, and he was really enjoying that, and he's like, oh, you can make me some really nice things. And he then eventually settled on a shirt, a summer shirt that he wants me to make him in this really lovely seersucker. So it's like blue and white stripes, cotton seersucker from Fabrics Galore. He saw this last year already, but we didn't buy it because I knew like, I won't have time to sew it up like for a long time. So let's just see, maybe, you know, it will go on sale during the winter months or something like that. So a while ago it was on sale for 20% off, I think. So I told him, oh, it's 20% off, you should buy it. And then he didn't do it. So he's like, oh, okay. Then last week I got in my newsletter from Fabrics Galore, it said cheeky treat, 50% off. So I told him, like, buy this fabric. It's 50% off now. I mean, it's not an expensive fabric by any means, but you know, it's always nice just to have a cheeky little discount, isn't it? So I told him like 3 times, I think, during the week, buy the fabric. Yeah, okay. But he didn't tell me that he did buy the fabric. And I told him, just buy, you know, just buy 3 meters, because I know I really want to make something really good with it. And you know, 3 meters is more than enough for a short sleeve shirt, I know, but you know, just in case something goes wrong, or you know, I have to recut something, like I just wanted to be safe. So I told him 3 meters, and especially, you know, with 50% off, like it's cheaper anyway. So yeah, 3 meters. And then I went on Instagram 2 days ago, I think, and it said there was a post from Fabrics Galore and it said, oh, the last day of the cheeky treat for this fabric. So I was like, oh, I didn't hear from him that he ordered it. So I went ahead and ordered 3 meters of this fabric. And I think you'll know where this is going. But I told him like, oh, you know, I've been nice. You know, they said it was the last day, so I went ahead and ordered it for you. Blah, blah, blah. You know, me being all like, oh, yay. Me being so nice. He was like, yeah, but I also ordered it. So his parcel arrived yesterday. Mine is still on the way, but we will have 6 meters of this cotton seersucker. Oh goodness. But he has now requested either like matching shorts or a blazer in this fabric. So we will see. We'll find a home for it for sure. Secretly I want to make a matching shirt for myself, but it is what it is. We shall see. But that is on the way. So yeah, luckily it was 50% off, so not too much money wasted, but there you go. Other than that, I haven't really bought anything, but I would like to talk to you about some things that I saw this week or noticed. And that was, first of all, there is a new season of Next in Fashion on Netflix. If you don't know this show, they select like 10 to 12, I think, designers from all over the world. Designers that have been working on their brand for some time, and they think, or the show thinks that they are capable of being the next in fashion. So like the next most popular thing in fashion. I wouldn't even know, but like the next biggest designer in fashion, basically. So they're not looking for designers that design on trend now, but will be on trend in the future, I guess, or like can be trend setting, I guess, for the future. And then for every episode, they get an assignment. They make one garment according to a certain theme, and then they choose a winner and a loser. And then for the last episode, the finale, there's 3 designers left, and they design and make a whole collection of like 8 looks in 3 days, and then they pick a winner. Now, I really like this show because the designers, they do everything, right? So they design the clothes, and then they also make the clothes, they sew the clothes and make it fit to the model, things like that. So that, from that perspective, it's obviously like I like sewing. So from that perspective, obviously, I like sewing. So it's really cool to see like what kind of designs they come up to, like how good they are at constructing these things. So I really enjoyed watching that. And they just released the 2nd season on Netflix. And you better bet that I binge watched the whole thing. I think it was during one of my sewing days that I just binge watched the whole thing. And I really like how different the styles are, and I am not a fashion person, and this show definitely emphasizes it, because I always disagree with the judges. Like, they will have the most boring thing and they'll be like, oh my god, it's so pretty, and I'm like, what? There's nothing special about it. It's just like a piece of fabric with a hole for the head, and that's it, basically. Maybe that's just always talking to me, but I always have so much more respect for like garments that are so difficult to construct, basically. Like, I'm like, yeah, you can see like there's a million pieces thrown into it, and it's really fitted, and it's really, like, I look at it from that. I guess I don't like looking at it from a designer perspective, but yeah, it always surprises me the things that they choose are as good or next in fashion. I'm like, but that's the most boring thing ever. But that's what it is, I guess. Fashion is taste. So, and I guess my taste isn't regarded as high fashion or couture, or what you're going to get. So yeah. Then another thing that I have seen this last week is a new to me YouTube channel I found, and I think her name is Marie Herios. Oh, let me list it. Okay, so her name is Marcy Heriol, and I will put a link below to her channel. But I've watched a few videos of her, and I think they're amazing. It's all sewing related, so I will definitely recommend checking her out. But she has this big energy, and she's really funny, and I really liked watching her. So I recommend you have a look as well. Another thing that I have done this week is I just went through like all my patterns, but also the patterns that I have in magazines. And what I found is that patterns that I didn't originally like, I like now. So you can, maybe I can see like more of the things that I can do with it, or like more like, you know, I've been thinking lately about like the kind of style that I want to dress as. Obviously getting inspiration from Pinterest, and yeah, I can just really see things tying in together more. So it was really fun to do, to just look at all the patterns again. And just basically being like, oh, I'm happy I didn't throw this magazine away or anything, because I didn't like the patterns originally, but I do like them now. So I don't think I have to buy any new patterns soon, because I've got loads of new ones that have inspired me recently that I can get working on. So yeah, I think that was it for me today. So if you would subscribe to my channel, it would mean a lot to me, because that would mean that I can grow my channel further and bring out the content to you that you would love to watch. If you have any ideas on what you'd like to see, let me know in the comments, and if you like what you're watching, press the thumbs up. And for now, let's go sew.